Hello, my name is Derek Johnson, and this is my presentation for LIS 60003. And my individual project was focused on the technology at Tab Library in York County, part of one of two locations in the York County Public Library System. Now, what I'm going to be looking at in this is basically which technology is going to be the most effective and which one needs the most improvement. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off with the hardware. That's the easiest place to start from. So, hardware. In the mobile library is where they're going to keep the majority of the computers at Tab Library. Now, this is going to consist of a total of 26 computers, which are HP compact business computers. And these are at most 4 years old at this point. In addition, they have 4 more computers near the front around a piling where they are going to allow access to the library's catalog, as well as another 2 computers in the children's section. In addition to the computers, the library also has a HP printer on site, as well as a Sharp copier. Now, the printer and the copier are both accessible without a library card, but even with a library card, they do require a small fee for use, and the fee is about 15 to 20 cents per page, depending on whether or not it is a color page or a black and white page. In addition, while the library does have a very decent ebook collection, unfortunately, there are no e-readers available for patrons to check out in order to access those materials. So they unfortunately are reliant on the patrons having their own e-readers in order to access these materials. Now, in addition, or rather I should say, next we're going to take a look at the software that is on these computers and items. So, first things first, the operating system. The computers are all running Windows 7 Pro Service Pack 1 for their operating system. Now, this is fairly current, fairly easy, normal for people to use. This also, however, is the easiest way to date these computers, since Service Pack 1 was not released until February of 2011, and these computers were shipped with that Service Pack. This is how I'm able to date basically when they were arrived here. So they're going to be there for about a year and a half window before you see the switch over to Windows 8. Now, on these computers, there's going to be a very small amount of applications. Most of them are from the Windows Office 2010, being Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The only other application installed is Internet Explorer. Now, for most people, having just these options available is not going to be a problem. This is going to be enough for most people, especially if they are high school or middle school students, and given the proximity of Tab and middle and high school, these people will make a good amount of the amount for the what's the word I'm looking for the patrons of Tab Library. In addition, you do have the ebook collection. Now, the ebook collection is going to hold a total of about 2,000 items, both fiction and nonfiction, as well as almost 6,000 audiobooks. Now, both of those are able to be checked out using a library card, but as noted above, you will need to provide your own device in order to access these items. In addition to what was noted before, the library also has Wi-Fi available, so if patrons have their own devices, such as the e-readers just noted, they will be able to access the internet and access those materials and the internet with the items that they brought. Now, on the subject of internet, they are also going to have their own website. Now, York County is rather interesting. The library's website is part of the county government's website. What this means is that while on the library's website on the left side you've got all of the normal items that you would expect to find for the library, collections, policies, reserving rooms, information on the services that the library provides, databases and the like. Along the top, you have links going to the collections, not the collections, links going to the different sections of the county government's website. So if somebody's not really paying attention, it is easy to end up in the county's section of the website. And because there's no clear way to get back from that section of the website to the library side, it can be very easy for somebody to get lost, especially if they don't use the back button. So that is a problem. Now, in addition, looked at the accessibility of the website. This is going to actually be quite accessible. I used the wave.webaim.org site that we used in one of our earlier modules for this class to assess the accessibility of the site, and it came off being very accessible. The total number of errors were fairly small, and all of them were minor to inconsequential in importance. So there was no problem in that. Now, from the website, you can actually access a good number of databases that the site has. Now, the number of databases are rather small compared to, say, Kent State University, which is an academic library, which makes sense because Tab Library is not an academic library. Tab Library is a community public library. A lot of the databases that it does have relate to one of two primary topics, either homework for the children of the schools that are nearby, both middle and high school, and genealogy. There are other ones for other tasks. For example, they have a database for basically teaching classes through the library. They also have several databases linking to local newspapers, such as the Daily Press printed out of Newport News. So there is access to those resources as well. Now, the catalog itself is pretty basic, pretty routine, does not have a lot of bells and whistles. You can search pretty much all of the holdings at the same time. They also have the ability to search specific holdings. There's a separate catalog if you wish to search just the ebooks, but you can do that from the main catalog. There's really only a few gadgets for social media, and it's very, very basic. You search what you're looking for in the library's holdings, and it tells you what's there. It does use facets, but that's about it. So very basic, very simple. And it's been provided by a company called Circe Dynix. So they do get it from an outside company. Now, in addition, we also need to look at how the patrons are using it. Based on the visits that I did to the tab library, most of the time there did not seem to be a large number of patrons there. However, on at least one occasion, there was a good number of people there. Almost all of them that were noted were either in the, not quite in the stacks, they were in tables around the stacks, looking at books, using laptops. Very small number of those people. A lot of the patrons were congregated around the computers in the center of the library. So the computers for the patrons in the library see fairly heavy use. In fact, almost every time that I went in there was at least 2 or 3 people using the computers. So they're definitely very heavily used. Based on that, it seems like the computers are able to fill the requirements of the people, and people are going to be able to check the catalog either on their own time or using the computers for the catalog use at the library. So they have those options. In conclusion, based on the information I was able to find, it looks like probably the most effective piece of technology is going to be that website, even with the drawback that it has of handling with the people. You are going to be looking at a website that has a lot of information that is going to be very effective at getting that information across, and that's going to be their most valuable resource. The one that requires the most improvement, though, is going to be the e-collection. And the main reason for this is because they don't have e-readers available for patrons to use while on the library premises. Because of this, it's going to limit the amount of people that are able to participate in that collection. And that's the part that needs the most improvement. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.